Mimics versus flesh pedestrians. We're gonna call this Paranormal and PJs, because I'm sitting outside in my pajamas and we're talking about paranormal stuff. And I'm gonna call it flesh pedestrian because I don't want to say the other name. If you know, you know. Right, so the mimic is a lower vibrational entity that you will find in your home, in your job, in the corridors, outside at night. And they're those things that sound like someone is calling your name when there is nobody there. We don't talk to the mimics. We don't acknowledge the mimics. That gives them power. The more power you give them, the more dangerous they become. The flesh pedestrians are a Navajo legend. It is a Navajo witch that did an atrocious act to gain the power that they have. They are shapeshifters. They are notoriously dangerous creatures. We don't whistle outside at night because of the flesh pedestrians. You are alerting them to your whereabouts and you are drawing them near. Now, flesh pedestrians live near sacred Navajo land. Sorry for those of you around Europe, Canada, anywhere else that thinks that you are dealing with one. You are not, because it is not the right region for them to exist. It is something else entirely, not a flesh pedestrian. Paranormal and PJs. Today's paranormal subject is the Wendigo. Now, similar to the flesh pedestrians, the Wendigo comes from indigenous lore. The Wendigo comes from Algonquin lore and is another one of those creatures that if you don't live in the correct region, it's not a Wendigo that you're seeing, hearing, or dealing with. Now, Wendigos are from colder climates, New England area, Canada, a little bit south of Canada, but they don't go very far away from there. It's said that they do have a heart of ice. They are a malevolent spirit through and through. And there's even something called Wendigo psychosis, but that is a completely separate subject. It's said that they do have the ability to possess people, and one of the, two of the symptoms of Wendigo possession is not only an insatiable hunger, but cannibalistic tendencies. Paranormal and PJs. Today's paranormal subject is the haint. The haint is something that you will hear about frequently throughout Southern and Appalachian culture and folklore. They are the reason behind the blue bottle trees and the blue porches, blue doors, underside of a blue awning. They are the reason for the color haint blue, because it is believed that blue repels spirits from your space, from your property, from yourself, especially the shade indigo. So what is a haint? A haint is a restless and wandering spirit. The origin of the word is an accented word, haunt. That's the origin of the word haint. Your garden variety haints aren't so bad. They're just kind of like ghosts. But when you start stepping into the territory of a haint referred to as the boo hag, then you might have a little bit more of a problem. Paranormal and PJs. Today we have witchy pinups, and we're going to talk about the black-eyed children. The black-eyed children have been reported in many regions of the United States, specifically a little bit in some other countries, but it seems to be predominantly a U.S. thing. Everywhere from New England, Vermont, to Wyoming, to Utah, to Texas. Just about everywhere has a report of something similar to the black-eyed children. Now, they look like normal children, save for the pitch black eyeballs. And they will be wandering around in the middle of the night, walking up and down the street trying to hitchhike, approaching doors in the middle of the night and knocking or ringing doorbells, and they need help. They're lost. Can you give me a ride home? Can you help me figure out where I am? Can you please let me inside? Don't let them inside. Now, once you let them in, if you choose to do so, everything will seem fine and normal at first, except for those eyes. And you can't make eye contact with them no matter how hard you try. But shortly after you let them in, you will feel this overwhelming sense of dread come over you that will become so overpowering that you pass out. And then you wake up fine in your home the next morning. They're gone. But your entire life has been flipped upside down. Nothing but bad luck, tragedy, terrible things will take place, and in some instances, so does death. The black-eyed children are not something to play with. We are not actually sure what they really are, if they are extraterrestrial, if they are demonic in nature, if they are lower vibrational entities, just taking on the guise of a human child to gain sympathy, but they are an overwhelmingly bad omen, and they result in overwhelmingly bad things to happen to you once you bring them in and try to help them.